the approval ratings of the court have fallen dramatically, from 41% in July 2020. I'm sorry, the approval ratings have gone from 41% last September down from 58% in July 2020. What do you think this is all about, and how concerned are you?
Well, some of the things you've mentioned, and of course, I would be concerned for the reason that unless people have confidence in the courts, they will not follow the decisions, or they're less likely to. And the following decisions, I heard Senator Reid say this about Bush v. Gore. He said, decisions were followed, even though you, Breyer, me, thought it was totally wrong. And so did a lot of other people, maybe half the country, or maybe even more than half. But there were no rocks thrown in the street. There were no riots. There were no shots and so forth. And I'm talking to Stanford when I say this, and the students, and I say, I know 30% of you disagree. You're thinking too bad there weren't riots, etc. And fine, go turn on the television set. And they won't see you. What they will see is how people decide these things in other countries that don't have a rule of law, and it's pretty bad. So I say, think about that before you make up your mind. And of course, if the court becomes too unpopular, that's undesirable, because people may tend less to follow a rule of law. But think of the opposite. You don't want a judge, and I don't want a judge who has a case in front of that judge where the defendant is very unpopular. You don't want that judge following public opinion. You want the judge to do what is the right thing to do under the law in that circumstance. And so you can't just say, oh dear, the court is unpopular. So is Earl Warren. And all of us now think, of course, Earl Warren was absolutely right. And thank goodness he didn't give in to the popularity of the moment. So you can't just look at the popularity ratings and decide how you feel about the court. You have to look underneath that to see how they're deciding decisions, and not just the immediate result, but what's their theory, what's their approach. And that, I think, is the part that people, to my belief, are missing. They're not putting
Justice,
enough emphasis on it.
that
That's
I
why I
think
wrote this.
I think